Hello everyone. In previous class, we have discussed provisions of Section 80 of the Companies Act 2013 regarding redemption of redeemable preference shares. Today, I would like to discuss this procedure in practical form, and this is one of the most important topic from this chapter. Let us start step-to-step solution of the problem, or you can say steps to solve the problem. If you want to score 20 out of 20 marks in final examination, it is necessary for you to remember all the steps very carefully. See, it is not that much of difficult to remember anything once you focus on the technical aspects of the solution. Before starting the steps of solution, let us understand the question first. In this question, we have taken a case. A company called ABC Limited wants to redeem 5,000 10% redeemable preference shares. This 10% is rate of dividend on these RPS. Right now it is of no use. Of rupees 100 each, comma, rupees 70 paid up. So from this particular line, we can understand that these shares are partly paid shares because face value of the share is rupees 100 and paid up capital per share is rupees 70 at 12% premium. At the time of discussion of the rules provisions, I have discussed this kind of theory that we will be putting into practice. 12% premium, it means what? Face value of the share is rupees 100, but a company would like to redeem these shares at 12% premium, that is 100 rupees for a share plus 12 rupees, that is a 12% of rupees 100 extra to the shareholder. The ledger accounts show the following balances. Securities premium rupees 45,000. Profit and loss account credit balance rupees 3 lakhs. The directors have decided to issue 3,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each at par. At par means at face value. Company may issue its equity shares at par, at premium, or at discount. But in our case, these shares are issued by the company at par, means at face value. Prepare necessary journal entries in the books of ABC Limited. We need to remember this question because each and every information that we need to solve problems given to us in this question. Let us start with the solution. As per the provisions of Companies Act, we cannot redeem partly paid shares. It means we need to make final call on these shares to convert these shares into fully paid shares. If you want to pass a journal entry of this particular transaction, what happened? Bank account debited to RPS capital account credited. This journal entry is initial journal entry to receive the amount from shareholders on partly paid shares. Now, what happened in our case? In our case, face value of the share is given rupees 100, paid up amount is given as rupees 70 per share, it means rupees 30 is outstanding per share. Now, as per provision, first we need to call 30 rupees from our shareholder because it is a provision of the law. So let us call the amount from shareholders. Let us check the question. How many shares were there? Very simple. If you say how many shares were there, so it is given in the question that there were 5,000 number of shares. So 5,000 number of shares multiplied by 30 rupees per share. Total amount 5,000 multiplied by 30, 1,50,000. Let us check. Bank account debited to 10% RPS capital account credited 1,50,000. 5,000 number of shares multiplied by 30 rupees outstanding or final call per share. I think everybody is clear with step number 1. So with first step, the rule of the Companies Act is followed to convert partly paid shares into fully paid. Let us enter into step number 2. Step number 2 is amount payable to RPS holders. As per the information given in the question, redeemable preference shareholders are entitled to receive face value plus 12% redemption premium. It is already given in the question. If you want to pass journal entry for this transaction, what will be the journal entry? RPS capital account debited, because capital account is always credited. But when you want to return that capital, it is debited. RPS redemption premium, it is additional burden for the company. You can say loss or expenses. It is also debited. To RPS holders, we need to pay this amount to RPS holders. So according to rule, their accounts credited. Now, let us understand this particular item in our case. In our case, 5,000 shares are there, 100 rupees each. Now they are of 100 rupees because we have already called 30 rupees outstanding on such shares. We need to pay 12% premium. Let us check. So the total amount payable to shareholder is 5,000 shares multiplied by 100 rupees, that is a 5 lakhs, plus RPS redemption premium at the rate of 12% on capital. 5 lakhs rupees, 12%, that is 60,000. So total amount payable to shareholders is 5,60,000. Now, we have already discussed the format pro forma of a journal entry. Let us put these figures into journal entry. RPS capital account debited 5 lakhs rupees. RPS redemption premium account debited 60,000 rupees. To RPS holders account 5,60,000. It means total amount payable to RPS holders are 5,60,000. Step number 2 comes to an end with this. Now, we need to arrange 5,60,000. As per the provisions of Companies Act 2013, we need to arrange fund for capital part, that is for rupees 5 lakhs, and for redemption premium part, means for 60,000. Let us check the arrangement of the fund. As we discussed at the time of theory and provisions. We need to collect the amount from two different sources. First source, that is internal, creation of capital redemption reserve from divisible profit, and second, that is external source, means collection of fund through fresh issue or new issue. When we need to issue new shares or securities to the company, it's a very simple journal entry and it was a part of your standard 12th. Bank account debited to equity share capital account to security premium account. Bank account debited to equity share capital account to security premium account, into bracket it is written if any. It means if there is a premium, we need to incorporate this premium for our calculation. Second source of collection of fund, that is creation of capital redemption reserve, that is CRR. We have already discussed these provision at the time of discussion of the provisions of section 80. But let us put this provision into practice. General reserve account debited or any other reserve as per the information given to us to capital redemption account or CRR, capital redemption reserve account, not capital redemption reserve, CRR account. Now, before coming to the solution, let us visit the question once. As per information, the directors have decided to issue 3000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. It means the first plan of the company is very much clear, right? So let us move for this part. For the purpose of this redemption, we need total amount of rupees of 5,60,000, from which we have collected 5 lakhs rupees for capital part, 60,000 rupees for redemption premium part. Now, as per the information given, company decided to issue 3000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. So you can easily check over here, 3000 equity shares multiplied by 100 rupees. Total amount collected by the company using the option of new issue 3 lakhs. Our total requirement is 5 lakhs, of which we have collected 3 lakhs rupees through new issue. It means it is compulsory for the company to contribute rupees 2 lakhs from divisible profit to capital redemption reserve, that is CRR account. In each and every question, we need to arrange these kind of adjustment from internal as well as external source to collect the fund for capital part. So in this case, two transactions happened. First transaction, we have issued new equity shares. Second transaction, we have transferred rupees 2 lakhs from our profit to CRR. Let us have journal entry for this transaction. When we have issued 3 lakhs equity shares of rupees 100 each, amount collected by the company 3 lakhs. So journal entry, bank account debited rupees 3 lakhs to equity share capital account rupees 3 lakhs. Now we need to transfer rupees 2 lakhs from our profit to CRR. Journal entry for this transaction, profit and loss account debited to CRR account. In this question, we have credit balance of profit and loss account. If we have general reserve, we can utilize. We can utilize any free reserve available to the company for the distribution of dividend to the shareholders. It is known as divisible profit. Fine. I hope all of you are clear with this step. Total amount payable to the shareholders 5,60,000. Out of that 5,60,000, we have arranged rupees 5 lakhs for capital part. It means still arrangement of rupees 60,000 is pending. Let us move to step number 4. As per the provisions of Companies Act, we need to adjust our RPS redemption premium against security premium account. If the amount of security premium is not sufficient, then we can adjust the remaining amount to our profit and loss. Let us check our question. We need to redeem our shares at 12% premium. So the amount of RPS redemption premium is 60,000. In our question, security premium is given as 45,000. New shares are issued by the company at par. It may be possible that company may issue new shares at premium. So in this case, we need to add this premium in this 45,000. But right now, it is of no issue. So we need 60,000 rupees to adjust RPS redemption premium. We have 45,000 rupees from security premium. So remaining 15,000 is adjusted against profit and loss account. Let us check the journal entry. Security premium account debited 45,000. Profit and loss account debited 15,000 to RPS redemption premium account 60,000. Explanation is given in yellow color part. Format of journal entry is given in blue color part for your reference. But I have explained entire calculation in a practical way, so as it's very easy for you to understand step number 4. After discussion of fourth step, that is adjustment of RPS redemption premium. Now we are at the point of payment to RPS holders. So our step number 5 is all about amount paid to the RPS holders. When we are paying anything to anybody, journal entry is very much clear. X account debited to bank account. X means the person who is getting the amount from us. So in our case, we are following same pattern. RPS holders account debited to bank account. Now we need to calculate amount payable to the shareholders. But we need not to calculate amount payable to shareholders again, as we have already completed our calculations in step number 2. Let us visit step number 2 once. In step number 2, we have completed calculation of rupees 5,60,000. 5 lakhs rupees for capital part, 60,000 rupees for redemption premium part. So total 5,60,000. Now it is time to pay amount to shareholders. So journal entry for this transaction, RPS holders account debited 5,60,000 to bank account 5,60,000 with Journal entry number 5, we have already paid amount to RPS holders. It means practically the process of RPS redemption is over with this step. But as per the guideline of Companies Act, we may issue bonus equity shares to equity shareholders from capital redemption reserve. So we need to focus on sixth step as well. Our sixth step is issue of bonus shares from the balance of capital redemption reserve account. Into bracket, it is clearly mentioned, if any, as per instruction. It means we need to issue bonus to our equity shareholders or not. That we cannot judge at our own. We need to follow the instruction given in the question. Let us visit the question once. Check the question. In our question, it is not mentioned anywhere that we will issue bonus equity shares from our capital redemption reserve. If I am not wrong, we have referred our question more than 3 to 4 times, but we have not come across this particular instruction. It means in this particular question, we will not supposed to issue any bonus shareholders. Let us check. Journal entry, if we would like to issue CRR account debited to equity share capital account. But in our case, no information is given. So we are not supposed to issue any bonus share to equity shareholders. So with this sixth step, our entire process of redemption comes to an end. Let us revise all 6 steps one by one. First step, to convert partly paid shares into fully paid up through making a final call. Second step, calculation of the amount payable to RPS holders. Third step, arrangement of the fund for capital part. There are 2 different sources available to us for the arrangement of the fund. A, or you can say first source, new or fresh issue of the shares or securities. And second, to create capital redemption reserve, that is CRR, from divisible profit. Fourth step, adjustment of RPS redemption premium. First, we will utilize security premium. If the amount of security premium is not sufficient to adjust RPS redemption premium, then we will look forward profit and loss account. Fifth step, amount paid to RPS holders. Sixth and last step, utilization of CRR account for the purpose of bonus issue. But this particular step is based on information or instruction given by the examiner in the question. I hope all of you are clear for all 6 steps with practical aspects. Now onwards, in each and every question of redemption of redeemable preference shares, we need to calculate all these 6 steps one by one, and after that we are supposed to prepare balance sheet as instructed by the examiner. In this particular question, preparation of balance sheet is not possible because required informations are not given. But in future, we will prepare journal entries and balance sheet in vertical form as per the provisions of the Act. I hope everybody is clear with the chapter through this explanation. Thank you. God bless you.